Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live. I would love to know who's here. I'd like to be able to say hello. It's so good to be back in this space with you. Thank you for joining me, whether you're live or watching on replay. It's been a little while since I've done a live on YouTube. So I'm going to give this a few moments to see who might be joining. If you're here, can you let me know that you can hear me? That everything's working properly? Say hello. Happy Friday or Saturday or whatever day you may be watching this. Hi, Marta. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Welcome. So I wanted to do this live today because it's been a while since I've done one, but I know that for many of us, there's just been a lot of uncertainty. We're still dealing with all the uncertainty of COVID-19, but there's a lot of other stuff happening as well. And in the US, even if you're not following what's happening politically, people around you are, and it is creating a lot of energy floating around that isn't feeling so great. It's creating a lot of intensity. So I wanted to come in and connect with you and just share this space together. I am planning on doing another or a couple more lives at least between now, probably a few more lives between now and the Christmas holiday time. I know it's kind of a stressful time for people as well. And this year there's a lot of added stress, a lot of unknowns, a lot of changes in how holidays will be celebrated. So we need to make sure we stay connected. We need to make sure that we're taking moments to breathe, making intentional effort to take care of ourselves. All of that is really important right now. So creating this space for us to come together and share this time, this moment, to just honor where you are, connect to your body, feel firmly grounded into your day and into your life. I think most of us need a little bit more intentional practice with that. I know I do lately. It's been a little bit more challenging to make sure to practice very intentional breathing and self-care, but we need to get back to that, right? So welcome everybody. Hello, Isabella. Hi, Sharia, Cheryl. I feel like I should know who this is, but hello from LSA. Hi, Cheryl. Hello, PS. Oh, Paula. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. So again, happy Friday or Saturday. If you're watching live, if you're watching this on replay, I hope that you're having a good day. And if not, I hope that this moment of connecting helps you feel a little bit less stressed, a little bit more grounded, and maybe a little more connected. So I am going to walk us through just a very brief moment together of just connecting within, making sure that you are fueling your body, just giving yourself a few moments to just be, letting whatever might be going on out here, kind of just letting that go in your thoughts for a moment, or at least to allow that to happen. That's what we're here for today. So I do also have, some of you may already know this if you follow me on social media, but I also have an announcement that I'll talk more about another time as well. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more on the other side, but I'm going to go and mention it now. I have a new book coming out. I believe it will be published and available on December 8th. It is a guided journal for cultivating self-compassion for healing. And then also, hopefully soon, I will have my boundaries course available on my website as well. And that is an online course with videos and a PDF workbook that you can work through on your own to help trust in yourself, to be able to set boundaries and honor what boundaries are needed for yourself, and believe that you're worthy of having those boundaries. So I'll be sharing more about that as well. So let's take a moment to just settle into whatever space you're in. Just kind of noticing where you're at in space. Like if you're in a room, if you're outside, wherever you are, just taking a moment to notice your surroundings. Maybe noticing the sounds. If you're outside, noticing the air temperature, any breeze, the sights, the sounds, the way the air feels on your skin. And if it feels comfortable to you, maybe closing your eyes. And if it's possible, sitting down, maybe even lying down if you have the availability to do that. Giving yourself this moment to just really connect within and relax your mind and your body. Let your breathing become natural, full, but natural. And as you stay aware of what's going on around you, also notice, begin to turn inward and notice what is happening within. Whatever thoughts are present, just notice them. Don't try to push them away. Certainly don't beat yourself up for having lots of thoughts. Just notice the thoughts that are there and maybe watch them come in and go out, even if they just keep repeating over and over. Just notice them. Noticing any sensations in your body. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe, the rise and fall of your belly. Any place that you notice any tension or pain, maybe try on your inhalation, seeing if you can send the oxygen to that space. Breathing it into that space, and as you exhale, as you release the air, letting the pain or the tension escape with it. Feeling the weight of your body on the surface below you. Allow your body to feel heavier, trusting that the surface will support you. There's no need to tense your muscles, lock your knees, grip with your hands. Let the surface below you support and hold you. And with each exhalation, feel your body sink in a bit deeper. Noticing any tension in your face. And then very intentionally relax those muscles. Notice your jaw. Are you clenching your teeth? Maybe even grinding your teeth. Let your jaw relax. If you're lying down or if your head is leaning back, maybe you feel your head relax further back into that surface, letting your neck release any tension, knowing that your head is supported. With your exhalation, letting any tension from your neck, any constriction from your throat go. Maybe even sighing with an exhalation, allowing your throat to open and release. Noticing how your shoulders are in space. Are they relaxed? If they're not, if you're holding them up around your ears, if you're holding them forward, move them back and down. Let them relax. Let your shoulder blades melt in to your back. Let them slide down. And as that happens, your chest can expand further with every inhalation. Notice any constriction, tightness, clenching in your thighs. And when you exhale, let that go. Release any tension. Letting the backs of your legs sink in a little bit further to the surface below you. If your feet are on the ground, imagining the bottoms of your feet connecting to the earth below. Whether the earth is just on the other side of the floor or through several stories. If you're lying down, imagine your entire back side, the entire surface that is touching the surface below you. Imagine the energy moving through down into the earth. Feeling your groundedness into the earth. Feeling the connection, the energy of one another, of this space. Knowing that whatever comes your way, this foundation is within you. You have the ability to weather any storm. It may not feel like it sometimes, but you do. There is so much going on around us that we have no control over. Some of it feels maybe just a little stressful. Some of it feels maybe debilitating at times, maybe scary at times. Reconnecting to your foundation, knowing that we are connected, that we are not alone in any of this, can help you really find the strength in that foundation and connect to your sense of being fully grounded in that. If it feels comfortable to you, maybe put one hand over your heart, another hand, the other hand over your belly, like right below your belly button. If that doesn't feel comfortable, don't do that. But if it does, or some variation of that, whatever feels comfortable to you, and just feel your heartbeat for a moment, continuing to notice the rise and fall of your breath. Feeling the energy of your hands, connecting to the rhythm of your heart and the rhythm of your breath. And just let yourself take a few breaths. Just really being in this moment. And if it feels helpful to you, as we finish with your last exhalation, maybe letting that exhalation go with an open mouth and a sigh. And just notice any sensations in your body. Just let yourself be with it in this moment. And if your eyes are closed, maybe you begin to flutter them open. And then come back into this space together. Well, I feel better. I hope you do too. So just give yourself a moment to really just notice anything that's going on in your body. Maybe kind of just noticing where your thoughts might have gone. Is there a difference in how you feel in this moment than you did when you first logged on? So obviously this will be available on replay, so you can come back to this. Whether you feel that you just need a moment, a few moments of breathing, or if you want to feel connected. While it may not be live, obviously on replay, you can connect, or for those of you watching this on replay for the first time, you can connect to this energy that we have put into this space in this moment. Thank you for joining me for this. So, how are you? I would actually really like to hear. How are you doing? How are you feeling with so many different things going on? I know that the the numbers are going up in many parts of the world for COVID, and there are new restrictions on our ability to move around in our communities, to travel. Work maybe is being impacted. And with the holidays coming up, that might impact how you normally would celebrate the holidays or who you would spend the holidays with. I certainly didn't anticipate that this many months later, we'd still be, not only that we would still be dealing with it, but that we would be in the middle or in a period where there's actually, in the US anyway, we're experiencing the highest levels of positive tests. And it feels hard when it's hard to imagine when the end is going to come. So many unknowns, and for most of us, unknown does not feel very good. Definitely grounded, good. I'm glad. TikTok and election memes made it much better than the first. Yes. I am not very familiar with TikTok, but every once in a while I'll see a video posted somewhere else, and some of it is quite interesting. I'm glad you're doing well, Marta. It's my pleasure. It is not wrong to not want to think about the holidays at all. It's not wrong at all. And part of that can be healthy distraction, to not think about it. And part of it is, depending on why you might not want to think about it or what your circumstances are, because there are so many unknowns that are out of our control, worrying about it, obsessing about it isn't helpful. So I don't think it's wrong. And I know that there are people who, a lot of the people that I connect with in this capacity, struggle with holidays, even in the best of times. And with everything that's happening now, I think there's so much more that people may be struggling with. And the reality is that this year, even more so than previous, the last few years, the political divide in this country anyway, I can't really speak to other countries, has made some of that holiday stuff even more challenging. So particularly if it's something that you have no ability to control, not thinking about it, and that's true for pretty much anything, it's probably not such a bad thing until you actually have to think about it. I'm scared for the election, working on grounding. I feel you. I'm feeling better now. But there's an unfortunate reality that hurts around the reality of where we are. And I actually thought about doing this earlier in the week, but I gave myself a little bit of time to kind of come around a little bit. So I'm feeling a whole lot better today, just even in terms of kind of acceptance, I suppose, and allowing myself to feel some of the fear, some of the uncertainty, some of the sadness, the disappointment, the fear, the heartbreak. Like, there's been a lot going on. And in the midst of all of that, I was mostly feeling numb. So it was a little bit more challenging to move through some of those other pieces. But that's what it that's the reality of what it means to be human. For any number of reasons, there's a lot that we sometimes have to deal with. And giving ourselves the space, giving ourselves the permission, in a sense, to feel whatever it is that we feel, to allow ourselves to be with that and not try to rush through it, to deny it. It's not easy. I found myself wanting to just shut down completely, and that's part of what the numbing was. But when we know that we're not alone in dealing with whatever it is that we might be dealing with, it helps. Whether that is the stress of what's happening right now, the stress of COVID, the stress of holidays, the reality of what it means to be a survivor, mental health issues, whatever it is, knowing that we're not alone can go such a long way in helping us get through it. And that's why I wanted to connect with you today. Thank you. Disappoint is a huge one. Yes. Unease, uncertainty. Yeah. And there's, the thing about feeling is that, particularly feeling that is associated with unhealed wounding, or certainly feelings that we've been in denial about, is that when something comes to the surface, especially when there's a lot of energy with it or a lot of intensity with it, and when we're dealing with things collectively, that naturally creates more energy, is that any unhealed stuff becomes part of what we end up feeling in the current moment as well. And so it can make it even more challenging to feel some of those things. Like we all know what it feels like to feel a sense of uncertainty or unease or feeling disappointed, right? And sometimes it's something not huge, and sometimes it's because of something really significant in our lives. But if we've got a lot of those feelings associated with unhealed wounding, if we feel any of those things about what's happening now, we're going to feel it more intensely because it's the same kind of feeling from the unhealed stuff. So if you've felt really disappointed or let down by people in your past, and it still is an unhealed wound, and now you feel disappointed in people, all of that disappointment from before, even with different people, is going to be part of the disappointment that you reconnect with now, which is part of the reason why I talk about all the time and think that it's important to be able to really honor how we're feeling. Because in that moment, we're not just honoring it for what's happening right now, we're helping heal whatever it is that hasn't yet fully healed. And a lot of that really, at any time it can happen, but I will say that certainly in the US and other parts of the world too, anybody who cares about people in the US, that the past several years, 5 years or so, 4 years, there's been a lot of things that have felt very familiar to previous wounding. And so with each reminder of that, all that unhealed wounding and the feelings associated with it, the fears associated with it, become present as well. And that's why it can feel so overwhelming, really, since all of COVID started. Because again, if you were watching when I was doing a couple of videos in the beginning, so much of what that struggle was, in addition to just fear of potentially getting sick and the death rates and stuff like that, but was the unknown, the uncertainty of it all, and not having any control, not kind of feeling trapped, not being able to escape it, like a lot of that felt very familiar for trauma survivors. And interestingly, the last 4 years in the US has brought a lot of similarity in that way as well. So there's been a lot going on. There really has, and across the globe, really, certainly not just in the US, and even before COVID, there's been a lot happening, just kind of collectively everywhere. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that this felt helpful. Um, I will, like I said, I'm going to plan to do at least a couple more lives, maybe a few over, sorry about that. Between now and the Christmas holiday, I think it's important to make sure that you give yourself a little bit of space here and there to stay connected. And I'm also going to open some of that to Q&A as well, around things related to what's going on, and ultimately just kind of self-care, taking care of your emotional well-being. So keep an eye out for that. I will be scheduling those, and I think I'm going to try to do them maybe on the same day of the week. Maybe I'll do one time I'll do it earlier in the day, another time I'll do it later in the day, to allow people in different time zones to join live. So I'm planning on doing that. And depending on how it goes, it might become a permanent thing in the new year, doing lives on a regular basis. So I'll hopefully look forward to connecting with you live over the next couple of months or so. Oh, Lupe, thank you. I'm so happy and honored to hear that. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate you sharing that. So, again, I mentioned this briefly at the beginning, but I'm going to mention it again now. And I will be sharing links as they become available. But this time of year, with the holidays coming, it can be more stressful for most people. And so there are going to be a couple of things that I am going to be releasing that may be beneficial for you. One is a guided journal to help you work on really cultivating a deep practice of self-compassion, because self-compassion is such an important part of healing, of being able to trust yourself, build confidence in setting boundaries, and just feeling more of a sense of acceptance and freedom in your life. So that will be coming soon. And also an online course for trusting yourself in honoring what you want when it comes to boundaries, and then practicing setting them and honoring them as you enforce them. So that will be a kind of an online course that you work through on your own with videos and a PDF workbook. So both of those will be coming soon. If you've got any questions about that, you're welcome to ask, but I will be sharing in my newsletter as well on social media, and I will keep it updated on YouTube as well. So I'll look forward to sharing all of that with you. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're live now or watching this on replay. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm so grateful for you being a part of this community. I really do appreciate being able to connect with you and hear from you, and know that we are all in this together. Thank you, Kelly. Well, have a beautiful rest of your evening or your day, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everybody.